Hello, my name is Jen. I am the Unorthodox Healer. This is a tarot card reading for any Sagittarians out there, and it is whether you have Sagittarius as your sun, moon or rising sign. This reading is designed for the spring equinox, which is the 25th of March, and it's to see as to what the predictions are for the next 12 months, because the spring equinox marks the start of the new astrological new year for us. So the idea is that I will take the cards that have jumped out, because I only take cards that jump out at me, and we will use them to decide as to what we have in store for the next 12 months for you. So we have April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February and March. Now I'll just show you that I don't have any more cards. This is how wonderful Spirit is, because I asked for 12 cards and they give me 12 cards. So I'm sure probably the same as all other tarot readers, slightly paranoid about how square your cards are for when you draw them. Apologies for the shine up there. So let's get on with it, shall we? So the first card you have for April 2024 is the Queen of Cups. And the Queen of Cups is it's typically seen as a feminine energy, but it doesn't have to be. This is either you or somebody in your life who is a good influence on you. It's somebody who is very empathic, offers you unconditional love, and is somebody who understands what it's like to love and be loved, and just emotions in general. This might be that you have been doing some work on yourself and you are experiencing self-love, which is what we all should do, but a lot of the time we don't. It might just be that you're feeling very confident and happy as to who you are and where you are emotionally at the moment. So for May, we have the King of Swords. And the King of Swords is somebody who is sure of themselves and has sort of been there and done that. But they're also somebody who is... He's quite kind of... He's sure of himself. He's quite self-assured. You can see that he's sat here with his sort of sword between his legs. So he's very confident. He's also very knowledgeable, very wise. He has a good sort of calm head on his shoulders, and is very fair and objective. And so in May, either you have this type of person coming into your life that is going to impart this sort of feeling and wisdom upon you, or it might be that you really are working on yourself, and it's a continuation from where you were in April, that you are very much in control of your thoughts and your mind, in May as well. Gosh, you're certainly putting some work in, and it's going to absolutely pay off. So in June, gosh, this looks like this is just kind of a year of working on yourself. So in June we have the moon, and the moon is the first major arcana card that we have, and major arcana cards are much more long-lasting, stronger cards and influences than the minor arcana cards are. And the moon is about trust, and trust in yourself. The moon can sometimes be seen by some tarot readers as there being unwanted things that are hidden in a relationship or in your life. I don't read the moon like that. I see the moon as being that place where you are at night in the darkness and when everything's quiet. And it's about how you are when that time is here. And there are two towers here. There are two wolves howling at the moon, and there's this all-seeing eye. And it's about balance. It's about continuing. If you are on this sort of path of self-love and that journey of finding yourself, I think that the moon is showing you that you need to look inwards more, that you have to trust yourself and your intuition. And when perhaps things do feel a little bit difficult, and I know that I certainly have periods at night when, you know, I overthink. I'm a Gemini, so I overthink and try and think of every eventuality to every possible scenario. And that isn't good, because we have little control over the future. We have no control over the past, and so we are really only in control of our feelings as they are at the time. So I think that this is saying that you have to trust your intuition and just be very aware of how you're truly feeling inside. In July, we have the Five of Swords. And the Five of Swords is typically about... It's kind of about... It's about kind of conflict, but minor. Somebody's maybe going to be pressing your buttons in July, and it's not going to be a big deal, but I think that you're potentially going to feel as though it is a bigger deal than it actually is. With the Five of Swords, sometimes it's about needing to see the situation from somebody else's side. This is one sword which is kind of through the eye of this person, which looks pretty painful, and they're feeling threatened by these other swords that are around them. And I think that this is causing you to maybe not see things as clearly as you need to, that perhaps there might be something or someone who is just making a drama out of something that they don't need to, or perhaps you're making a drama out of something that you don't need to. And again, going back to the moon card, you have to see things for what they really are and open your eyes. Again, you know, you've got two eyes here, so I think that perhaps you just need to take some time back to see things for what they really are. In August, you have the Three of Wands, and the Three of Wands is a card which shows that you are looking for something new. It has these two birds and this person who's sat within this triangle of wands. Wands tend to be ideas, and they've got one bird on their shoulder and they've got the sun within the triangle, and they're looking towards the sun and out to sea. I always feel this card is the feeling that you've maybe tried two things in the past and you are looking at a third option or a third idea, which I think you feel as though you've been there and you've done that with two other situations. It might be maybe that you've had two major jobs in your life, or that it might even be that you're planning on going on holiday in August and you're not too sure as to which place to go to, and this is saying go to the place that you haven't been to before, because you've been there and you've done that with something which you are familiar with, and you have kind of mastered these things. And so this is really telling you that you should go for the new option. And if there is a bit of wanderlust of you wanting to travel, then this is certainly the card in August which shows that this is a really good time to be doing it. In September, we have the Seven of Discs, Seven of Pentacles typically, in other more traditional packs. And this is about the fruition of something. That's probably worded really badly. The lady here has been tending this garden, and the sun's coming up, so everything's great. But she's pregnant. In this instance, this is you. You've been nurturing something, and you have got to the stage now where you're kind of wondering as to whether all of this hard work and this nurturing is sort of paying off. You have all of these heads here which are lying here, and I think that this shows that you've been working for a long time on something, and you're just wondering as to whether whatever it is that's been going on or you've been nurturing, as to whether it's either worth the hard work and the continued hard work, or you're wondering as to whether it will actually come to fruition. In October, you have the Seven of Wands, and the Seven of Wands is typically a gentleman with a bandage around his head, stood in front of a row of wands, as though he's sort of being challenged. He stood above the wands, in quite a defensive position, and this is you feeling quite confident, but there might be some challenges coming to you in October. But you can see this lady is a warrior, and she's been fired at. She's got these burning wands, which are all these sort of ideas that are being thrown at her. And she stood there very confident going, yeah, come on, I can deal with it. So you might have a lot on in October. You might be feeling a little bit overwhelmed, that you've got so many ideas or so many options, but you are very self-assured. You are capable of dealing with whatever anybody throws at you in October. In November, we have another 7. So we've got 3 sevens here. The 7 of Cups is about too much choice, not knowing which path to take, and being able to see things for what they are. Potentially you might need to be using your head rather than your heart. The cups here are all full of different items, some of them good, some of them bad. And it is very much about trusting yourself and your judgment as to which path you take. And there are beautiful, happy, wonderful things down some paths, and down other paths there might be things that aren't quite as beautiful and happy. And November is a time when you just need to be not making any major decisions and trying to see things as rationally as you can. Sorry, that was November. In December you have the 2 of Wands, and the 2 of Wands kind of goes back to the 3 of Wands. The 2 of Wands is about wanting more than you've got. This person has these 2 wands, which can be 2 ideas, can be 2 options in your life. And then there's the world hovering just above their hand. This shows that you have, as it shows, potentially the world in your hand. The world is your oyster here. But you have perhaps gone down one route and now you're perhaps not feeling as though it was the right route. This might be linked back to the 7 of Cups. It also might be linked to the 7 of Discs. But I think that December is you getting itchy feet and you wanting to change direction. In January, which is typically seen as the month of change, and everybody making New Year resolutions, we have the Hermit. The Hermit has come up a lot of times within these 12-month readings that I've been doing for the new year. The Hermit is about knowing yourself. It's perhaps going back to this that you were doing earlier in the year when you were practicing this sort of self-care and learning about who you are. The Hermit is very much about trusting yourself. This lady stands at the beginning of a path, and she has darkness around her. She has the moon behind her as well. And she has this staff with a light on the top of it. And it shows that you are capable of leading yourself out of darkness. You have the mental capacity to cope with anything, but you have to trust yourself. And if you do that, you will prosper. For February, you have the Princess of Cups. And this is typically seen as the Page of Cups. And this shows that you might have somebody younger. It can be a sort of a naive, immature sort of person coming into your life in February. Or it might just be that you are going to cross paths with somebody who is going to kind of enliven you. It doesn't have to be a romantic situation. It can be. But this is just about a new, something new and creative which is coming to you, whether that be a person or an opportunity, but it's going to open doors and it's going to open your eyes, and I think it's probably going to open your heart as well. And the final card, which is for March 2025, if we can even think that far in advance, is the Empress. Again, this is another major arcana card, so you have 3 of those, and the Empress is the 3rd card in the major arcana, and it's a really beautiful card. The Empress is stood within this garden which is in flower. It's very abundant and it's very prosperous, and she's wearing a beautiful flowing gown. She is a sign of fertility and abundance. She's a very creative, nurturing type and is very in tune with nature. It perhaps might show that you are feeling as though you want to nurture someone or something. It might be that you want to nurture yourself more, because we're sort of going to be, if you're in the Northern Hemisphere like me, you're going to be starting to come out of the winter and that sort of cold, negative sort of time. So it's perhaps a mother figure who is going to be instrumental in your life. Perhaps that's what the Page of Cups was bringing you, this new loving, prosperous and abundant figure or energy into your life. So I think that's a really interesting reading. I would love it if you have enjoyed this to like and also subscribe to the channel. I'm quite new, so I would love your support. I also do pendulum readings, mainly daily when I get time to do it, which you might find beneficial if you have a question or a dilemma that you need help with. And I hope you check back soon, Sagittarians. I will see you soon. Thank you so much and Happy New Year.